Hi, it's Dwyer, gamblersadvisory.com, free site, bettingangle.us, a free site. It's Monday, October the 8th, 2018. They haven't even played the Monday Night Football game yet. Let's talk about some early picks I like. But first, remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Folks, for this coming week, week 6 in the NFL, right now you have some early picks on the board that I think warrant your attention. Right, the first are the New England Patriots laying 3 points at home after a Thursday night game where Bill Belichick has even more time to prepare against the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, I like rookie quarterbacks like everyone else does, but understand, it's been a pattern in this league for rookies to come in and to do well their first few games before the league gets to look at them on film and make adjustments. So, and I know Pat Mahomes played one game last year and isn't technically a rookie, but this is the first year he's head into the month of September as the starter. Right? This is the first time he started the year as the starting quarterback. You remember back a few years ago, a guy named Carson Wentz? You remember how he started? Folks, he was on fire his first few games. Look it up. He did very well. Right? This was a guy with size and speed. People didn't think a Division II guy was ready for the NFL, and he was. But then the league made adjustments after that first month, didn't they? Right? They made adjustments. He slowed down considerably. Now, last year we had Deshaun Watson. Remember him? He was on fire. He was even on fire against this Patriot team early last year. But then he suffered a torn ACL. So he was on the shelf for a bit. Right? The league didn't have the opportunity to adjust on Deshaun Watson. But then Watson starts this year, and the league was ready for him. Right? Houston won their second straight overtime game against the Cowboys. Let's just say it was a struggle. Let's just say Deshaun Watson, who is gifted, hasn't looked as great as he looked when he first started playing. Right, so I look at Pat Mahomes, a guy who is slowing down. Right, folks? This week, he throws his first interception. I know the weather was terrible. Okay, fair enough. But look at his numbers. His numbers are starting to hit resistance. Now, it's tough enough trying to beat the Patriots and Tom Brady in New England. But to do so when New England is rested, right, after a game where they clobbered the Indianapolis Colts, they're rested coming off a win, right? They haven't had to travel. They were at home that Thursday night game last week. And you mean to tell me that this rested team is going to be able to feast on a first-year starting quarterback? I like the Patriots laying the 3 points against the Kansas City Chiefs. Next, look, the Rams, dynamite team, no question about it. They barely won, barely, in Seattle this weekend, right? Barely. Had to do things like go for it on fourth down, right? They barely won. Understand, too, guys got shaken up, right? Brandon Cooks, hey, great wide receiver, shaken up. Cooper Kupp, promising wide receiver, shaken up. So these guys, one if not both of them, are going to be in concussion protocol this week. You know the way that works. The guy could be a warrior and could say, hey, I want to play. They're going to say, hey, I'm sorry. You're still in concussion protocol, right? Without 2 stars of that magnitude, how are the Rams on the road in Mile High Stadium going to cover 7 points? That's the line right now, folks. 7 points against the Denver Broncos. Right? Think about it. Jared Goff is going to be back in the pocket. Von Miller is going to be coming after him. And Goff is going to look up, and he's not going to have multiple starting wide receivers out there. Right? Folks, that's a recipe for disaster. Let's say Von Miller's breathing on him, and he's thinking, where's Brandon Cooks? Then he realizes, oh, that's right, he's in concussion protocol. Not only that, Seattle's a very hard place to play. You know that. Right? You mean to tell me 1 week after that debilitating road game, the Rams are going to still be on the road in another very hard place to play? The thin air of Mile High Stadium? Folks, I don't like it. I like the Denver Broncos here, the home team, and I'm getting a touchdown right now. You want to grab this before Vegas gets wise and drops this line, a 6.5 or 6. I like Denver +7 at home against the Los Angeles Rams. Right? Finally, let me say this. I'm a Giants fan. I'll just admit it up front. I know that the Giants have had problems, and I normally don't like to bet on Thursday night games. But understand there's signs of life for all the people claiming that Eli Manning is the problem, and that includes his wide receiver, Odell Beckham. Right? What I want people to actually do is to look at Eli's stats. Is that hard to do? Folks, look at the completion percentage. Look at the yardage he got last week. You remember when they were trying to tell you that the Giants hadn't scored 30 points in over a year? Folks, they did last week. The offense is loaded. Philly right now is stumbling around a little bit. Right? Philly's stumbling around. Philly isn't where they were last year at this time. They have a lot of talent. I'm not here to say differently. But let's just say something isn't quite clicking there. Right? And I do feel that offense is a little bit too reliant on Zach Ertz. Look at the number of times he was targeted last week. Well, this is a divisional game. The teams know each other. It's not like the Giants are going to look at Carson Wentz and say, wow, this guy's better than we thought. No, they've seen Carson Wentz multiple times a season now. Right? So, you mean to tell me that I get the Giants, who are showing signs of life? Let's face it. Graham Gano had to hit something like a 63 or 64-yard field goal at the end of that Carolina Panther game to win that game for the Panthers. Right? The Giants delivered for us on the point spread last week. Wasn't that line 6.5 points? Carolina's lucky they won that game. I think Vegas is still being too hard on the Giants. The Giants are 3-point dogs at home to a divisional opponent who's not playing great football, who has guys who are banged up. Jay Ajayi has a back problem right now. He's just not running the way he used to. Right? Eagle wide receivers, they're just not doing that well right now. Carson Wentz started the year injured. Right? He's just shaking off the rust now. I like the New York Giants at home getting 3 points against the Philadelphia Eagles. Right? Understand the Giants need this game. They're coming off their most inspired performance of the year. I like the Giants getting the points here at home. These are early lines. Again, it's Monday, October the 8th. But when I see early lines at key numbers, right, a home team getting 3, a home team getting 7, the Patriots, where all you're doing is laying a field goal, then I have to take those bets. I like those 3 plays, those 3-point spread plays for this coming week. Let me hear from you. Pay attention to the lines. We'll see which direction they change. I think the New England one is an absolute gift. We'll find out. Keep in mind, KC's defense is defensively challenged. Let me hear from you. If there are other plays, picks, injuries that you want us to keep an eye on, I hope you leave that information in the comment section to this video. Thanks for stopping by.